Good evening. This is a meeting of the Cemetery Commission in Douglas, and it is Friday, May 31st, 2019. And to my right is Betsy Youngsma, and to my left is a newly elected member of our Cemetery Commission, Jean Twinnell. Okay, guys, as I said, a scribbled down agenda, because as it stands now, we don't have an organized meeting, so.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to nominate Shirley Cooney as chairperson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought she already was.
Well,
Well,
we have to do
be
it.
organized, I can't sit here without, yeah. No, unless somebody else is interested, that's all. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Is that all right?
Sure.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, whatever. You know, we all work together anyway. So,
Okay.
made a motion, second,
Sure.
and so moved. All right, so would you be kind enough to take notes?
I will.
Now, how do you feel about a position?
Well, I think we should have more members on this board. I mean, to just have 3, I think is ludicrous.
All right, how do you feel about taking a position on the, we need a secretary and a treasurer. In the past, up to, we'll say, well, today, Debbie was the one that, she did both of it.
Correct.
And because it's, I guess, the treasurer's position is probably the easiest one, because basically it's done here in the town, here, in this building,
Mm-hmm.
right? So are you interested in
Well,
a position? Would
I-
you be interested in, say, secretary? or-
I won't mind
Whatever.
doing the minutes if, you know,
Okay.
unless
Nope.
that's it. I mean,
Nope.
you've been here longer than me, I don't know.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay,
Good.
all right.
All right. Could you make a motion?
Sure. I make a motion to make Jean the secretary.
So moved.
Thank you.
And if you're interested, yeah?
I can do the treasurer.
You can do that. I know you can, but I mean, do you want to, you know?
Well, then I'll make a motion that Betsy is our treasurer.
Okay.
So moved. So we're all on the same page. All right, so I am going to bring this to your attention because it would be considered new business. A party is wanting to purchase a plot. We have the check, and we have the mailing address here. What we have to do is open up the file cabinet and write out a deed. And then a copy goes to the person that has made the purchase. So, because we need 3 signatures, so we can do that,
Oh, okay.
okay?
Mhm.
So that's item 1, okay? Item 2, I haven't opened it. I checked the mailbox, and this is, looks like a bill. So this will be your department, Betsy.
But the town really pays them, I just bring them the bills.
Yeah, you've got to, what we've got to do is a voucher, which, here again, Debbie had copies of vouchers.
I'll ask Jean.
So we
what she
have
wants
to-
me do. Because they go to Jean, right?
Yes, but
Yeah.
we have to sign, they can't pay it unless we sign it.
Right.
So basically, you know, what you have to do is put the amount on, you know, it's simple, it's to put it on the voucher. But
I
because
don't
we,
have a voucher.
no, well, because we don't have anything from previous meetings, because it's all in that box. Oh, there's not a bill. How about that? See, I didn't open it, I didn't think it was appropriate to open it until I got here. So we can make, do you know how to use the machine?
The copy
That's-
machine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we can, you know, so that everybody's got a copy, you've got a copy of this. This is communication, I can read it. It says, AMB would like to thank you for your business over the years. We offer services, dethatching, spring storm fall cleanup, light shrub and tree trimming, cutting, fertilizing. And it gives a lengthy record of what they do. Invoices will be sent out every 2 weeks, and statements will be sent out once a month. If you have any billing questions or concerns, and it gives you the numbers and the address, all the information that we need to make contact.
Is
All right.
this the person
So
who
if you want to
usually,
see that,
is this to keep the grounds
That's
taken
right.
care of?
and basically, A&B only does the mowing. They have from time to time bailed us out with things that have happened with limbs down, branches down, etc. You know, where they run into issues with their mowers. Another bill. But that's good. Maybe there's a bill in the box, because I checked it. So this is a bill that has to be paid, but I'm not sure that, you know when they called us because they wanted us to pay a bill?
I had to go down and sign.
Yeah. This is a $50, the total amount due is $53.32, and it's for the water department.
I thought we paid that.
That's what I thought.
We signed it.
So maybe you can check it out,
Okay.
all right? Because this is April 8th, 2019. So what we have done in the past is make copies of all these transactions. And
Yep.
they go, in other words, so that people that come along behind us know exactly what they're supposed to do. And this is from the Greater Worcester Foundation. If you want to go over that later, we can. So we've got one cemetery plot. All right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, the other call on the 24th of this month was from a family who did not know how to communicate as to their plot because they couldn't find their deed. So with the information that the person gave to me, which was the name, middle initial, and the last name, I said we would look into, she thought probably 15 years ago the plot was purchased. She really doesn't know, but I thought if we could just briefly go through the what is it?
The deed book.
Yeah, the ledger. Yeah, the deed book. that maybe we could come up with, if we came up with a name, then we could get in touch with her and tell her the deed, because it would be so notified, noted in there, and then we could notify her. She resides in Rhode Island. The other request is from Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm sorry, are you okay?
No, you're good.
All right. So in other words, the one that I just mentioned is to research if there's a deed that we can
Yep.
help her out with. And the other one is a request from a party in Cincinnati who wants to purchase a plot. I said we would be meeting here this week, and that we'd discuss it, the procedure that is to be done, especially with an out-of-state. She has to request in writing what she wants. I told her it's $1,000, and she said that was fine. I said, when we receive your check, then we will send you a deed. And this is for her, so it isn't, there's no burial imminent. So on those last two, there's no burial imminent. This one took place, I guess recently.
I'm all set.
And it's okay to write the names if you wish. But what we don't do is mention the names at a meeting. That's all. It's sort of inappropriate. All right. So,
So
is it
that's-
okay with you, as a board, to request, to call this party and request that they request a plot, and in the request send a check for $1,000? Sure.
I don't see why not, sure.
No, I mean, I think we can't just, we want it in writing. you know.
Oh, yes, I
For
agree.
the file, yeah.
That we have to have a
Yeah.
process, and if that's
Yeah,
the process, we
right.
have to go through it.
So if we have it in writing, then it's okay, matches the check, and then we write the deed out with that information that she has given to us. And of course, we have to write it in too.
Mm-hmm.
We have
Yes.
to fill in the name
Keep
of the
the
party.
record,
That's
yeah.
right. So we want her full name and middle initial if she has it, that's all. And her address.
So you will
So what I
officially get in touch with her. and-
what I will do is, I'll call her, all right? I do have her phone number. I guess she wasn't at home at the time she called me. I guess her family has been after her to do this. So it's one of those things on her list that she has to do. So here again, there's no, imminent
Mhm.
burial or anything like that.
Does she have a choice of plots?
Well, if she's not here, the only,
Well, I mean, does she have family buried there already that she would like to be near, or?
not to my knowledge.
Okay.
I mean, we can ask that. you know.
Well, yeah, I mean.
A lot of the
random people.
times, what we have had is, in other words, we can't accommodate people because of the old cemetery, and, those are not available. So, because I had, John is the one that knows if there's space available, because he digs the grave. So I
So
wouldn't
the issue
know
is
where.
she will be able to have a plot.
Well,
Is
he
that
will.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
In other words, what we'll have to do, or we can do it, we can just sign off on the plot, but I wouldn't do that. I would ask him, in other words, if he has any preference as to where we go. And he does, because he's the one that has to go in. So it is cumbersome if you kind of block the, by opening up selling certain lots, I'm sure, in a particular area.
And as far as we know, she does not have family
As
here.
far as we know, I don't know, because we didn't get into she didn't volunteer that, all right?
You might want to ask her, and if she
Yeah.
does, they might want to
Yeah.
talk to John about,
Yeah,
looking at a particular plot.
because all I can say is that we had an incident like that a little while back, and, there was no way that they could find any space next to other family members. It was like, he says, like 45 years ago, so. Anyway, so if that's okay with you,
Mhm.
I will get to her, which means that she then will make a request in writing. All right, so we're gonna have to get the ledger out anyway. So let's see, that's, I guess that's new business. Yeah, this probably goes in your folder. Because all of this was available when I came up to vote.
All those financials.
Yeah. I just checked it to see who was there. And I said, we need, if we're gonna do any business, it has to be copies, so that we've got copies for us, okay? All right, old business is, this was put in the box April 11th. And this was it's a standing thing that we've done in the past about recommendations. And usually this person does this. This is every, I would say, maybe 3 years. So it hasn't been done for a while.
Recommendations for what?
For recommendations for basically any, and I can go through it with you, the arbor work. In other words, trees, shrubs, bushes, plantings, things that possibly we wouldn't notice about disease, for example. I am not familiar with what is going to kill a tree, So they do a walkthrough, and then, and what he does, because we're very limited with our finances, and this is it, tree care recommendations, basically. I don't know, a year or so ago, we did contact him and asked him if he'd be kind enough to transplant the Rose of Sharon shrubs that are on the property of that the town purchased. He's got it listed here as the Brown House. So apparently there are 4 large, and they bloom in the fall. I don't know if anyone's had experience with them. I have, but not recently. He said that they do transplant okay, and that you can divide them. So in other words, the 4 large might give us 8 or more, depending on what you come across when you do the excavation. And I said, because the likelihood of, God knows what they're going to do with that house, but if the town does take it down, for example, I just would hate the bulldozer to go in and bulldoze the,
Now, what house is this, Shirley? What cemetery are we talking?
in the Douglas Center Cemetery. It's the brown house on the left before you get to the cemetery.
Okay.
It sets, it's not way back, but it sort of sets off the road. Um, and because I think that's town property there, I mean, I don't have any inside information, but the, what used to be an elementary school, it is not now.
Yeah.
It's town property. Behind that is town property. So I think basically it was that, you know, inch away at acquiring, and it was just an acquisition by the town. So, on observing those blossoms, you know, here we are wanting to do a little, as much beautification as we can and get things that bloom. The likelihood of them being bulldozed is probably out there, who knows? But we would be the last to know.
Mm.
So I thought if we, and I've already talked to the powers that be, and there's no objection, so it's for discussion. He said that he would transplant those 4 large, and if we needed them divided, to figure out where we wanted to, I don't know if you've got any ideas about where you'd like more blossoms, but they make it quite a nice showing in the fall.
And what were they called?
So he would,
Rose of
the
Sharon?
price here is $600, okay? And then he goes on down here. The entrance across from Common Street are 4 large rotting maple stumps. And there are many small sassafras stumps along the wall that he would grind below the surface, because he said if you're doing, which we've started, to do the dogwood planting, in other words, you need to clear out that stuff. If you do have plans to do that, and to remove those large maple stumps is $280. So basically what we do here, I'm not gonna go all the way down, we'll copy it, and you can all look at it. But what it does, if we have $500 that we can utilize out of our budget, then what we do is pick something. And that's the only way we can beautify, you know, because we're limited. And that's how we've acquired so far the few things that we've done in downtown, in Pine Grove. And I said, we haven't done much on South Street, other than the gates. The gates have all been sandblasted, painted, raised, repaired. And that, we did that over a period of 3 years. So it's a little bit here and a little bit there and another little bit and another little bit, right? And so far, we've had good people that have been, you know, good, generous, and patient. You know, 'cause he says, you need both of those done. I say, yeah, well, we can't afford it this year. So you have to wait another 2 years. So anyway, you can go down the list of here, you know, large red cedar. It needs to have lower limbs and remove debris. It's old sugar maple next to Southwest Maine to be pruned, remove large amounts of dead wood. So all of that's, it's cultivating what the little we have and that has been there, without going in and hacking things down and trying to save things. Anyway, 2 large arborvitae and 2 large cedar. And what they do is try to raise the lowers. You have to sort of get used to their language. And what it does to raise the lowers is to make sure that the monuments are clear. Because as it stands now, the arborvitae come down, and here's your identification. And what's happening is that is being affected. The identification of your plot is being affected because of these arborvitaes. So in other words, you just go up and raise all the debris and the
Yeah.
dead stuff
Yeah.
and expose the cemetery plot. So he goes on, you know, it's arborvitae, large red cedar, a serviceberry, whatever that is. Another large arborvitae at the Hewitt gravesite. 2 large yews, raise the lowers, oak on the hill. Here again, raise the lowers. So it's basically clearing it away from,
So you can see.
so
the-
that you, yeah,
the
so
graves.
that the plot itself and the gravestone is exposed and not. The rose hedge to prune, naked cut and remove the vines. We've got a problem with, what do you call it, what's the vine?
Bittersweet.
Bittersweet. We got a problem because it just invades down there, and it comes up, and they've worked at it over the years, and when it gets too bad, but we don't want it to kill the rose hedge,
Right.
Here again, same thing, rose hedge. The new trees look great, which means this is the Douglas Center Cemetery, and will be monitored for insects and disease. So, that's nothing. The cleaning out of the rose hedge, that's $200. So then you go on to evergreen. I just want to make aware that we did put some new plantings in, I think 3, time flies, I'd have to look in the book. Maybe 4 years ago, we put in, I think, 3 flowering almonds. And he donated a beech tree, which
That was nice.
we could, that's kind of high on the expense list, so. But it was a small one, but it was, and we appreciated it very much. But he said, he sees these beech trees just disappearing, and people don't realize how valuable they are, and they chop them down. So anyway, that's the Evergreen Cemetery. It says that's the area we also have.
You mean Pine Grove? Evergreen. is
Evergreen, yeah, he's got,
private.
yeah, wrong, you're right. It's Pine Grove, because we don't do Evergreen. What he does do there is we have a terrible problem with poison ivy. And it backs right up to, the cemetery backs right up to, I think, probably 18 inches to the window of the property. So, over the years, we've had some issues. For instance, the problem came to the surface when, the lawn people weed whacked, because they had to mow, and then they weed whacked around the base of the tree that the poison ivy was on, and the people in the house were affected. I mean, who in the heck would ever think it, but, they had to go to the hospital.
Well, if those
And I
leaves
I
get
have no knowledge of
thrown
that.
around and you touch the leaves, it has
Well,
that
this was-
oil on it.
What happened is because of the closeness, and we're talking from here to here, and their windows were open, and apparently it all went in the house. There were 4 or 5 people affected. Yeah. So we've been trying to be cognizant about making sure that, the person that's licensed, because, we had a selectman say, well, you can do that. You can't take the liberty of using herbicides without having a licensed
Oh, yeah.
operator. So if anything should happen, you've got to have someone that's knowledgeable. So anyway, so the herbicide application to bittersweet stump sprouts, poison ivy, and that's here, is listed as $120. What I did say to him is, please jump on that. When he dropped this off, I called him and said, please don't let the poison ivy materialize. If you've been at it over the years, it should diminish. but you can't guarantee it. What do you say about poison ivy?
I have a yard full of it. It's great.
It's
I
great.
don't catch poison ivy.
Oh, you're lucky.
No, but what would you do in the event that that happened? I mean, when you're looking at the property and you wouldn't want to be affected by it.
No, well, I mean, if it grows over the fence and into their house,
No, it doesn't go into the house, but you're talking like that much
right
space.
there.
Yeah.
House
So
is
their
right there.
window's open, and the cemetery is, the boundary is here, so their window is open, and we tend to the cemetery.
So what do they do with it? They just poison it?
They apply an herbicide. Yeah. And I think that, I don't know, because I don't use that, and I don't have a problem, but I think that it does diminish the infestation, but I think if it's an area like a cemetery, then the likelihood is. And you know, over the years, the dead stumps in those places. I mean, I think they just took the tree down and left everything. Then those things grow up from the stumps. And that's a lovely place for poison ivy, I guess. They like that.
You have to keep something like that under
Well-
control.
I think so. I think it's inappropriate to cause people that they have to go to the doctor or the hospital, you know? And it's a simple thing. I don't think that we have to say, oh, we can't do anything about it, you know? We'll just take care of it. I mean, if it were your neighbor, you would. You wouldn't want your neighbor to be affected by it.
No.
And they're our neighbors, you know? Anyway, so this is, and if, I would like you to, you know, to have this, to be knowledgeable about this, so that we're all on the same page about what we're gonna decide that we're going to do or not do. How about you? What do you think?
Fine.
Yeah, good. So, I mean, we can go ahead and pick a subject if you want to tonight, or we can wait till next meeting. But, you know, with people that work in the outside, you can't pin them down to a date to do anything because they're out straight, you know?
Well, you
Yeah.
know,
Well-
obviously I'm new to the committee and not familiar with a lot of your processes yet, but having had more experience with poison ivy than I care to admit, I think that should definitely be taken care of, my opinion.
Yeah, over my life in doing gardening, I never had a problem until the last 10 years. Yeah. So, I
Is
think
there a lot of it down there?
we're in the cemetery.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it this year.
Is
All
there
I
a lot,
said,
Sarah? 'Cause you're in there all the time.
I haven't been to like the border at the very back where you're talking about, but.
I'm
last
talking
time I-
about the house. It's
Yeah.
right there where that house is, right on the line.
Yeah.
You can
You'll have to look.
you can
Yeah.
talk to the people if they had the window open.
Sarah knows a lot about that
I saw some at the
cemetery.
base of the pine tree the last time I was there, like just the base of the actual large pine had poison ivy around it, but I honestly don't know about the
Yeah,
back area
yeah.
where the houses were.
I don't know
didn't
why.
walk that far back.
Yeah. It doesn't seem we have issues with poison ivy in the other cemeteries. At
Oh,
least
Douglas Center's full of it.
Is it?
you
Oh,
know.
full of it. All along the stone wall in the front, there's tons of poison ivy growing up.
But that is the place where I think that, you know, other humans are,
Right. I mean,
Affected.
Douglas
Yeah,
Center, and
yeah.
nobody goes near there.
I think that. But I think if the people that do work for us, if they see that and they know that, you know, we want it taken care of, as long as they're aware of it and they're licensed to do it, I don't think we can't have people that are not licensed to do it. You have to bring in people that,
Especially with any kind of chemicals.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a liability, yeah, yeah. So, no, so that's basically, and this, we don't do this every year, but, you know, about every third year, it's something that I think informs us in a more professional way as to, because there are things I don't know everything about the trees and shrubs, or what works well for what, you know?
Yeah.
And what is disease? How do you, there are trees there that I've said to him, it looks like hell, get it out of there. Well, I'll see if I can give it a little, it's like, okay, fine. I don't. He's not a take the tree down guy, I'm afraid.
I
That's
was just
okay.
gonna say, a good arborist tries to save.
Yes,
the trees,
exactly, I know.
Which is
Well, he
not a
did
bad
put-
thing.
In Pine Grove, he did wire the pine, so that, because he didn't want it to cave, and here we have one, and now he's put in pines. So, because we only had the one beat up pine for Pine Grove Cemetery. Because I said to him, what are we gonna do with that thing? It doesn't look good. And he said, well, we can do this and this and this, and we'll try to save it. And sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. They tried to save a tree behind the Historical Society, and then they ended up taking it down. So I guess it's the way the vote goes too. All right, so is there anything in particular that you guys want to look at or do anything with this? No?
No, well, I'll take copies because it'll
Yeah.
help give me more information.
Yep. For instance, I don't know what a serviceberry tree is.
I don't either.
I never heard of service.
I know what arborvitaes are,
Yeah.
yeah,
They grow fast too.
and sugar maples and a red cedar. Yep. All I know is that there's an awful spreading thing, I'd call it. And it's got spikes on it like this. It's called a locust.
Oh, I think I've heard of it.
And it's even hard for arborists to find people that will go in and volunteer to cut it back. It's, I'm telling you, they're like weapons, Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. All right, no comment on that?
No, the only thing I would say is as I said, we should take care of that poison
Okay.
ivy, in my opinion.
Now, I'm trying to think if it was Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday that I looked to see if there's a bill. Do you want to check? Because I didn't look today when I came in
Okay.
from him.
From
For
the
you.
mowers,
Yeah, because they were mowed,
they were mowed.
they've been done. And I don't want to have him wait until we meet again.
And that's this guy
Yeah, I'll
here,
check.
the A and B.
Yeah. But see if there's something in there. I didn't look today when I came in.
Well, I can't do anything about it today, I'll look on it.
Huh?
There's nothing I can do about it today.
No,
I'll
but
go in on Monday.
We can. I mean, we can.
Oh, we can sign it?
We can look at it to see where we are with him.
Oh, so is it in there now?
Well, I don't know, Betsy. I didn't look today, I did look Wednesday,
Okay.
and it wasn't there Wednesday.
Yeah, I did notice that was mowed up there when I went by this morning. Now, I haven't been down to that South Street Cemetery at all. I'll have to take a ride down there and look at that one.
Well, this guy was pretty good. Do you know how to run that machine?
The copy, yeah.
No,
yeah,
the copy.
the copy machine.
I was gonna say, here.
Where is it?
It's in the selectman's office, before the selectman's room. You can do it on the way out.
Okay.
What was I gonna say now?
About the South Street Cemetery?
Yeah. I asked him if he'd go in and cut down some of the yucca, because it was pushing that Masonic stone right in the front there. There are these two beautiful wrought iron. Anything?
Yep, there's a bill.
Oh,
I better be low. Well, I'm telling you,
huh?
I think it should be low. Couldn't be much grass though.
No, but I like to get him paid. I don't like him waiting a month. which, you know, oh my God, more stuff.
Yep, lots of stuff.
Cripes, that's 2 days, right? Yeah. Wednesday. Yeah, so it means that if you're in touch with her, if you could get either, get a voucher, get some copies made, then what
Okay.
we'll do is sign them here,
Okay,
all right? Then we don't have to go through this.
okay.
Because what we're gonna have to do is keep coming up here and signing. But we can do that at our monthly meetings, you know? So, all right, here's the bill. From Main Street, South Street, and, the other one. So that's all we need is some voucher copies. And
Is that what, around what he usually charges? Is that
yep,
ballpark what he?
yeah, well, this, see, all of that information is in all the stuff we don't have.
Yeah,
Because they gave us extra money because he asked for money. Now, Jean got this from Debbie.
no, the one I got from Debbie was a little key, wasn't it?
That's right. That's not the one.
That looks like the key to the historical society.
That is not the one. I think that's my friend.
Oh, your friend, I think
That's the one. So, we need the ledger so that we can all write the thingy. Do you want to get it?
I don't know where to go.
It's in the hall down there. It says cemetery,
Which way?
left.
Okay.
I noticed that all these files have gone from here. Did you notice?
Mm-mm.
Over there,
Oh, yeah, there's a copy thing.
more from, geez, they send more paper out, don't they? Oh. This one, license.
Oh.
That one's come by.
Oh,
That's April 25th.
that's old.
Yeah.
That's old.
much. Put all that in here,
Okay.
unless she wants to look at it.
I don't know.
You know. All right, these are all the designated
I'm
funds
hoping this is it.
and the donors. It's kind of interesting to look at. And the things they do some good stuff. This is all from the foundation. Most of it has gone by, the dinners and dances and fundraisers. So, I'm gonna put them all in there, Jeff. Just, and then you can put it in there. I don't know, you wanna look at that?
I got one from, I think, the
All
Historical
right.
Society, so.
All right, the society might have it. The Historical Society might.
We did get one of those.
Yeah, right. All right, what's his name? I've gotta look at his name.
Okay. Did you want those?
No,
Oh, okay, do you want me to throw them away?
it's,
Yeah,
I
I
don't need
think-
them for anything.
Destolia.
Oh,
115. Doesn't give the middle initial. Yeah. God, look at this.
there's two names. What is it? Raoul,
Yeah,
Raoul and Carol.
all right. 115. Yeah. All right, now they want a copy. I'm looking at the date here. Oh yeah, they paid for multiple plots.
And where was this person from?
Hmm?
This person was from where?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll look here and see if there's an address. No. Oh, and the new, situated in the new section on the south side of Carriage Drive and numbered, and it gives 4 numbers. I'm looking for a date. The 24th of May.
2000.
And 11. Okay. How long ago was that?
8 years.
Yeah. So she thought when I said to her, give me an idea, and she said 15. So obviously, all right. So that's another thing, see, what the heck can we do? Because we've got to get into that box. Because the copies of the deeds for, you know, to send out,
Okay.
which we can send a copy out,
Would,
would be,
could they be in the file cabinet? Copies of the deeds?
well, we did, because we had to purchase them, because what they were doing before I came on board was ripping out pages.
I mean, it's dark out there. I couldn't probably find
You
too
know,
much
the-
in there tonight, but
Well, they're in the town clerk's office, aren't they?
Well, we don't know. We don't know what's in the box.
Oh. We have to ask Christine. I don't think there's anything we can do about it tonight.
All right, well, if you can, okay. Write down that it is page 115.
Would she
and
want a
yes,
copy of that?
She wouldn't, no. Town clerk wouldn't.
No,
no,
no, the lady.
The lady does, yes.
She doesn't have anything.
Right, she would like a
She wants
copy
a
of
copy,
that.
that's right.
That's what I'm
We
asking.
we have printed up copies of this.
Can't we just photocopy that?
Might not come out as well.
We have printed up copies, in other words, with the correct heading that says, this is the deed to put in your, wherever you want to keep it.
None in the cabinet?
I don't know. I think I locked it back up, Betsy. Here.
No.
It's, and I don't know where the lights are to turn them on in the hallway, so I don't know what you'll be able to see.
I don't know either.
I'll get the lights.
Yeah, there's the light person. Da-dum, da-dum. Jesus Christ. I try. She's just not interested.
If we can't find it, I don't know if you want to just call Chris on Monday, or I can come over, and if they can't find anything tonight in the cabinet, and look.
Yeah, because we've got to wait for this to come for the request, because we have to send another one when we get the check for $1,000. I didn't want to mention this, apparently. This is a check for $500, and that's all we could afford. So we don't discuss that. And I don't want to.
Still being.
Yeah, but nobody can post it. And I don't know who it is.
Did you find it?
Ah!
All right. You rock, Betsy.
Not really.
Because we're going to
There you
need,
go.
yeah, because that woman is going to call, give us our information from Cincinnati, so,
Nice.
yeah, we're going to need.
See what that looks like.
So, yeah. Have you got a good handwriting?
No. Not really.
Do you have a good hand?
I do.
Oh, so
You
this
do?
is just blank ones. This isn't
Yes.
a copy
Yeah,
of hers.
so we copy,
Oh, you copy the information from there
yes,
onto
and
here.
put it on there. So that's basically what we've got to do. And then we can get it to them. Yeah, and see, there's spots here for signing,
Signatures.
okay?
Does it require all our signatures?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll switch it over to you. That's, wait a minute.
Oh, you want me to do this right now? All right.
Well, yeah, we gotta do it, get it over with. You want something to rest on?
No.
Because I don't have. can do this one, same time. It's a single, he's given us one, 591. So John has already done that. As,
And
because the
who's-
person's buried, already buried,
Oh, all right.
right?
So we have to make out another deed for this
Yeah.
person.
Right.
Do we have all the information from them? Their name, you know?
It's only, it's gotta go to the check, the address on the check.
Oh, that's right, you have the check. And this was a recent burial, this one here.
There's no street address, is there, Betsy?
Oh,
Strange.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of a map of the cemeteries with the layouts and
Yes,
who's
yes.
buried where?
Should be in the,
In the file cabinet somewhere?
there isn't one for Douglas Center in the old section. There was only one for the new
For
section.
the new section.
Yeah, the old section does not have one. I don't even think the old people are in here. There's no Dudleys in here. And there's tons of them in there.
Oh,
Anyway,
that might be a little project to, you know, make some sort of a
I've been
map.
working on it for 5 years.
Have you? Well, if I can help you in any way, Betsy, just let me know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You can't copy their signatures.
no, we gotta do our own.
No. But this isn't really a new one.
No, it's a copy.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, keep it all in the same ink. Should you be first? Is yours?
You can sign anyway.
Yeah, I'll sign at the bottom because I'm the,
Can we do that?
What?
Just issue like new deeds?
No, it's a copy. We'll have the town clerk make it a copy,
Oh, okay.
a duplicate.
So these are all the plots that are still available? Cemetery trustees.
All right, now we need to get Mead. Here, you're gonna sign, Betsy,
Okay.
and then we gotta do the next one. John Manning, Malcolm Murray. 150.
John Manning's still alive. He just lives in Florida. That's the other thing, the stone wall has been damaged in the Douglas Center Cemetery. That might be his consideration for something, 'cause it needs to be repaired. It looks like somebody hit it with a truck.
Do you know how many plots there are still available in that cemetery?
You don't? John Fernal would know that.
All right.
Because once a cemetery's full, it no longer makes any money.
Yeah. Is there any surrounding land to that cemetery that it could possibly be extended at some point, or is that
Where the brown house is.
where that brown house is?
Yep. But that would be up to the town.
Yeah.
So we have to read, because this is lot 591, and
Is that the last one in the book, Shirley?
all right, so this is the name of the person. Betsy, if you'd be good enough.
Oh, right in here, who the name
Yeah.
is.
And it is all that's on this check. But the, see, we don't have an address. It's just the name.
Is this the one Melissa came on?
So we just need a copy. Just the name.
Just, is it for both the names or just for the one person?
Just the top name, Dana Mead.
For $500?
Yeah.
And it's for plot number what? Where is this one?
591 Douglas Center.
Do we know where that is?
This is
Who
from
wants to
John.
know where it, oh, they just.
No, I know, they describe it in there, but,
Yeah, they wanna know
They-
where it is.
yeah,
I don't know what side it's on.
no. Just 591, that's all.
All right, well, I'll leave that blank.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't know how many square feet it is. I don't know how big it is. He doesn't write on
doesn't,
there.
yeah, it's all right, just blank.
Let me see that one for a minute.
It's just one.
How come we're only putting one? And their heirs. His heirs, I would assume. Because it's only one. Can we do it for June 2nd, which would be a business day? Or wouldn't it make any
No,
difference?
the
It
third.
doesn't make any difference. It's a record of
The
the
third.
purchase, that's all.
This 31st, a day of May. 1,100, oh. Okay. And then we have to write out a copy of that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta go to them.
Here's your blood. Is this the lady in Ohio?
Sorry.
Is this the lady in Ohio, this one here?
No. No, the lady in Ohio's got a request.
Oh, that's right. This was a recent.
I know,
burial-
yeah.
Burial.
That was
this 590.
Done, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, we don't get one in a month, let alone three, you know. Well, inquiries, I guess it would be. Yeah. You know, I never really paid attention to the fact that they don't have addresses, you know?
Yeah, the one before that only had one signature.
Hmm?
Most of
I
these
know,
only have
I-
one signature.
I don't know how that happened, because we're all at the same meeting. Yeah, I gotta get her address. No, this woman's in Rhode Island. This is Douglas,
Yep.
and that's Cincinnati. Well, thank you, guys, I think. All right, and you're gonna take care of the bill
Yep.
and copies, that's all, copies for everybody.
Okay. Of the bills.
Yeah, for records. And I'll get this stamped or notarized that it's a copy, and send it. I've got the address. And this is the check, so I'm gonna give this to you, Betsy.
Okay.
All right, this is, John gave this, he dropped this off from John. So he took care of it all.
Did you put the plot number in?
Yeah. But in other words, I'm gonna send this to them, so, yeah, and it's, we've got it in there,
That's
so
right.
they know the plot number. And it's on the, yeah. I'm looking. There isn't anywhere for it.
What?
The plot number? No.
On the plan. If this is the same as these, I don't know if this is exactly the same as
See,
these.
there's no address.
No, there's no address.
No, I know, that's a bummer when you're trying to
There's no
send someone.
plan of really the cemetery. I mean, the new section has, I think it has a plan, I'm not sure.
Yes, it does. God, we paid for it.
Well, just the new section, you don't have one of the old section.
It encompasses some of the old section, I believe.
Does anybody
Because it-
know where it is?
Yeah, we should have one in the,
In the drawers?
and John Furno has one because he's the one that has to know what the
Would
numbers are.
would this be in here, like where they have, and numbered 471, 472, that would be the plot number, right?
That's right.
And numbered on the
Because that
plan.
party bought 4 plots,
Right,
and they
Right.
numbered them, right?
Yes.
So
So
591.
that would be, I
Yeah.
think, where you would
So
put it.
put 591 there.
let me see if that's right. It's,
125, I think it was, that's
I'll have to ask John, I'll have to see if there really is a plot, see what it encompasses. Because that's why I was doing the old part, because they said they didn't have one.
You have to rely on people that have been around, you know?
Oh, I've been around.
I was saying they were young, you know? It was,
I'm not that young.
Well, I haven't been around as long as you both, but I'm not that young either.
well, it's a horrible feeling to know that a lot of your associates are gone, you know?
Oh, I bet, yeah.
All right. And if you're going to the treasurer,
Monday.
Should
and
I put
this is,
this back in the drawer?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, I'm not.
and this is the check,
Okay.
okay?
Right back.
I didn't put it in there.
And I did, yeah, it's got my name on it, but I did put Mead check on it, so.
Me check.
Yeah,
How come we don't use both names?
it was just as it was on the check, I guess they said that, you know, that was all the requests from the person.
And it was just for one person?
They're already gone,
Yeah, the son died.
so,
I didn't know that she would have been part of that too.
Yeah. I'll wait for them to come back to adjourn. I should have done it
Yeah.
earlier. Because we could have done that, and then you could have left.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
I said, if you'd made a motion to adjourn, we could have done all the paperwork. And then Sarah could have gone home.
All right, did we do our due diligence?
You want to do, make a motion to adjourn?
Sure. Why don't we all make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
So moved. Good evening, everyone.